You are joining me on this wonderful day. I am Mr. Ish. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate that very much. We're looking here at the video properties of logs, an interesting and an enjoyable subject. You should know this, especially as you start taking examinations or seeing test questions related to pre-calculus subjects. There are three properties of logs that you should know right now at this level, and let's itemize them out for you. Any log having a common base, and let's just put an expression over here. Any expression here or variable having a common log can be separated such as this, and I'll verbalize this out for you momentarily. The verbalization is this: anytime you're seeing a product of items or variables under a common log, you can separate them with a sum or an addition sign. So a product of common logs is equal to their sum. How about this? Log base, and you have here a quotient. When you have a quotient of an expression or variables under a common log, you can separate them out by a difference, which is a minus sign, and that's a very useful property. See, what is a product in logs becomes a sum or a plus. What is a quotient in logs becomes a minus sign. And lastly, another very important property is this: when you're looking at a variable with a log, the exponent can come over here as a coefficient, and your answer becomes n log base a to x. And this exponent can shift either from here to a coefficient, or you can shift it back from the coefficient to the exponential position. And this is a third fundamental property of log that you should be aware of. We'll be looking at two questions that will involve these types of movements. Just keep in mind the skills related to these properties are very fundamental to pre-calculus. That's why you're learning this. You can see two types of questions: where you expand an expression using these properties, or where you condense an expression using those same properties. Here we're looking at an A and a B in this question, so let's look at A first. You have to expand this condensed expression and open it up using properties of logs. You have log base a common log, xy cubed over root z. How you work with this is you work with it in this direction. Start from left and go right in the numerator. Then shift down into the denominator, and then in the denominator go again from left to right. And then you'll expand it out using the laws you know. Here in the numerator we're seeing a product, so you know a plus sign will come in. Here in the quotient you're seeing a divide line, you know that's going to bring a minus. We're seeing a product here, so you'll have a plus. And we're seeing these exponents that will come out as coefficients. So let's do this. You have log base a, you'll have an x. Here you'll have a log base a y cube, but this cube can come out as a coefficient, and we'll look at that. I have a quotient over here, so that's a minus, but there's an expression down here, so I must bring a parentheses, and then I have a common log. Everything here is common log w to the power of 1 over 2 plus log base a z to the power of 1 over 2. In the next step we just have to write this in a better way. We can have log base a here x, bring the 3 out as a coefficient, 3 log a y minus, we can bring a 1 over 2 out here as a coefficient, log base a w. This minus with a positive becomes a minus, bring the 1 over 2 out again, 1 over 2 log a z, and you're done. This right here is your expanded expression for this, and it should be right. This number b over here has a little bit of a twist in it, and you should always be ready for those, because you have a base over here which is a number, and you're seeing a number over here. So let's get right into this. You will start here in the numerator, log base 4 16. There's a product here, 16 and x squared is a product, so bring a plus. Log base 4 x squared, there's a quotient sign here, so bring a minus. Log base 4 y. You can do something here, you can do something here. Think about this log base 416 in terms of that exponential conversion. You're really looking at log base a x is equal to y, and a to the y is equal to x. So you can rewrite all of this using that, and I'll show it to you. You're really looking at 4 to the y is equal to 16, right? A y is equal to x, therefore y is equal to 2. A 4 squared is equal to 16. So all of this expression here breaks down into just a single 2, and that's exactly what it is. Log base 4 16 is a 2. Plus 2 log base 4x minus log base 4y, and that right there is your final answer. This right here would be the most tricky part of this question. You have to recognize these type of situations and get a good numerical value instead of this. For our last question, we look at these types of questions. A single one, a condense, where you're given an expanded expression, you condense it using the properties of log into a good unifying logarithmic expression. and let's get right into it. I'm seeing a sum over here which can be brought into a product. We're seeing log base a and xy, but this y is attached to a coefficient 3 which you could easily shift over here and make it a cube. But all of this is attached to a 1 or 2 coefficient which you could easily bring right here as an exponent for this entire expression, and you could say 1 over 2. And then I'm seeing a minus sign which is a divide, and then I'm seeing a log base a z. This 1 over 2 can shift right here as an exponent 1 over 2. All I have to do here is just write this in a better way. I can bring everything under a single unifying log, and then I have a root xy cube all over a root z, and that right there is the final answer, and it should be good. So keep in mind what you've seen in this video and the 2 videos prior, and it's fundamental to exams, and it's fundamental to test preparation and standardized exams that you might undertake. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.